Okay, so there's actually 5 types of stalkers that people may encounter during their lifetime. According to research, these are the 5 types and their motivations behind their stalking. The first and most common type was the rejected stalker. Now, these people most often had personality disorders, and most often they had a very confusing mix of a desire for reconciliation and for revenge. And thus, the way they harass their victim had the combined motives of one, intimidating them for that revenge portion, and also keeping in contact with them. As a study put it, loss, frustration, anger, jealousy, vindictiveness, and sadness were often involved in these motivations in varying degrees for the duration of the stalking. Then there's the resentful stalker. Now, these people are stalking people purely for the reason of enacting some kind of revenge. And this one had the most wild range of behaviors of any of the types of stalkers. For example, one person I actually knew, they felt like they were being endangered by somebody on the road. And so they stalked somebody to make them feel like their life was in danger the same way that theirs was. Or there was one person who literally just got rejected from a job, right? And they saw something they thought was very successful. And they were like, well, why should that person have that and not me? And stalk that person to enact the revenge. On the other hand, there's somebody that was convinced that this doctor failed to diagnose the cancer of their wife, and so stalked them to get their revenge. And then there's the intimacy seeking stalkers. These people usually have delusional disorders. They think that, oh, this person is my soulmate, right? And this is the way that I can initiate contact. A good portion of them actually believe that their victims reciprocate their love, but aren't, saying it for some reason. These are the kind of people who will like stalk celebrities, right? Number 3 is the incompetent stalker. So the incompetent stalker usually suffers from some intellectual disorders. And basically, they don't really have a good idea of what courting actually means. So they're just kind of following them around, thinking that this behavior is going to lead to a relationship. Interestingly enough, unlike the intimacy-seeking stalker, they know that this person does not reciprocate their feelings whatsoever. As the study puts it, they are attracted to them, but not infatuated. They're not obsessed with them. They just think this is the best way to be able to establish a romantic relationship. And the last type of stalker, and luckily the most rare, is the predatory stalker. These people are enamored with the sense of power that they get from fantasizing about eventually assaulting their victims. In some cases, these are people who end up being killers. But it's not that cut and dry. Like, for example, there's one person that turned themselves in because as they were living out this fantasy, they never wanted to engage in the actual assault. It was just a way for them to get out their, fetish, basically. And they ended up turning themselves in when they found that their desire was escalating to the point of buying bindings and adhesives in order to restrain the person they were stalking. These are the people that usually aren't going to be known when they're stalking you.